Stephanie, you had a pretty interesting story as well about what Apple did with just disabling cookies and stuff, for lack of a better word, and
Right.
how much money that's costing all these social media companies. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Apple, if you did your update, back with, I think it was like 14.8 or something like that, there was a part of the update around privacy called App Tracking Transparency, ATT, and you get a pop-up. You got a pop-up when you opened any app asking you, do you want to allow this app to track your data around the web? And you could say yes, allow, or never, or whatever. And apparently that it's working because a lot of people are choosing not to be tracked, to the tune of 9.85 roughly $1 billion that social media companies like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and YouTube are saying that they've lost in advertising revenue. So yeah, and the question now becomes, if they've lost 10 billion, what have small businesses lost? Because Facebook's whole argument against this was that, they use the small businesses that use Facebook, almost exclusively as their sales platform, use those targeted, personalized ads to find their best customers on that platform. So if you're taking away data, you're not allowing for that personalization, those companies don't get to target the people that are really going to be their customers. So now you're spending more per click to try to find your ideal customer, yada, yada, yada. It's going to cost you more money and be less effective because they're not targeting. So I couldn't find any data around what small businesses have suffered as a loss in the same time frame, but I have to imagine if somebody could figure out that these few companies lost $10 billion, small businesses also must be suffering as well, to some extent.
I'm making a joke, but maybe I'm halfway serious. I don't know. But maybe the businesses that are losing the most money as a result of this, small businesses, are the companies that their sole operation is hire me to help you run your Facebook ads business.
Well. Speak on it.
I kid, but I'm halfway serious.
I mean, listen,
everybody's got to hustle, right?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of businesses out there hustling on Facebook, on Instagram, saying, hey,
stop spilling that tea, Terrance.
Pay me X amount of dollars. Let me run your Facebook ads. I'll show you the returns or whatever the metrics are. And, you fire yourself. You don't have to manage your own ads, so on and so forth. So maybe those are the ones that are getting hurt. And then maybe the actual small business, we may not see that actual end result until maybe, sometime next year. Yeah. But somebody's getting hurt by this, obviously. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Facebook and, these other companies, Google, they're not eating all that. They're passing it on to somebody.
They definitely are. And it's funny because Apple actually almost got themselves in trouble for this same thing. They're collecting everybody's collecting data. Let's just baseline that. Everybody's getting data one way or another. It's just a matter of whether or not they're doing it and having that information before they collect the data so that you can make an informed decision.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was, looking at this story, and it just reminded me back when Apple first announced this, and Facebook took up full page ads in newspapers. And I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, wait a minute, you are on the side of the small business or the small company, but aren't you the one who took away organic reach out of your algorithm? Aren't you the ones who basically started putting boost posts on every single time you post something on a page?
You can't go on Facebook and just get a true chronological view of your news feed anymore. Every post is based on some sort of algorithm. And again, like you said, Rob, you made the bed, now you got to sleep in it.
It's like, Facebook did all this stuff to take all of that organic stuff away that businesses were using.
Right.
And now you're complaining that, a company whose product is not people, their products are products. We talked about that in our second or third episode. They've actually decided that, way too many people are saying they don't like being tracked like this. So we're going to turn it off. And this is something that I've learned, having worked in software for the better part of the last 30 years, or close to it. If you are partnering with someone, and I'm using partner very loosely, so in the way that you would partner with Facebook, that you're going to, as a company, and I'm talking about Facebook, you're partnering with Apple in the sense that, well, people who have iPhones run our stuff. You need to make sure that you're actually a partner where Apple's going to consult you on changes that they make in their roadmap, as compared to just running you over in the road when they decide to make a change. Because this is what happened here. I've always believed this: if you are building your platform on somebody else's platform, you are their product, not their partner.
Because Apple already has their own advertising business that they expect Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and all to participate in, to get featured on their app store pages and in the news, in the Apple news feed and all the rest of that. So Apple has their own agenda as well. We're not saying Apple was completely altruistic in doing this. And to your point, Rob, about being the product on someone else's platform, I believe this is partly, at least, why Mark Zuckerberg is so hyped on this daggone metaverse, because he wants to be the one. He hates the fact that his software has to live on somebody else's hardware platform. He absolutely hates that, and he's beholden to Apple, Android, Google, whomever, to basically administer his product the way they see fit. So he wants to be on the ground floor of the hardware portion of this whole metaverse idea, so that he can control it the way he sees fit, even though he keeps claiming, the metaverse is going to be open source and open to everybody and open.
Yeah, once you buy our hardware to get on.
Yeah, exactly. Once you buy our glasses or whatever, now you can do whatever you want. But he wants a piece of that pie really, really badly.